My mother looked me in the eye and said it. Your brother deserves this house more than you ever will. She didn't flinch. She didn't hesitate. My brother leaned back in his chair, arms crossed, that smirk on his face like he'd already won. I could have screamed. I could have argued. I could have cried like I did when I was 12. Instead, I smiled. I reached into my purse. My fingers found the paper I'd been carrying for 6 years. The deed, the original deed, embossed seal. My name in black ink. I pulled it out, slowly, and I kept smiling. Want to know what happened next? Before we get into it, drop your time zone below. And hit like if you've ever been the disappointing child in your family, because this story is for you. Let me back up. I was never the favorite. That was clear from day one. My brother's trophies lined the mantel. Little league, debate team, student council. My report cards went into a drawer. Mom loved to brag about him. At church, at the grocery store, to anyone who would listen. Me? I was the quiet one, the one who didn't need attention. Except my dad saw me. Every Saturday morning, Dad and I worked on the house together. He taught me how to use a drill, how to sand a door frame, how to read a blueprint. He'd rest his hand on my shoulder and say, "This place will be yours someday." I didn't understand what he meant, not then. 6 years ago, we sat in a lawyer's office. Dad's will. The attorney's voice was calm, professional. The property at 428 Maple goes to my daughter. My brother shrugged. He was busy with his startup. Too important to care about an old house. Mom's smile was tight, thin. She nodded but didn't look at me. I'm an accountant. I keep records. I save everything. Every property tax bill. Every receipt. Every contractor invoice. I didn't know I'd need them, but I was about to. 3 months ago, my phone rang. My brother. Hey, sis. We should sell the old place. Market's hot right now. We can split it. I blinked. It's not we. Dad left it to me. He laughed. Like I'd told a joke. Come on, don't be selfish. It's the family home. I hung up. 2 days later, Mom called. We need to talk about the house. As a family. That word, family, she only used it when she wanted something. She invited me to dinner. It wasn't really an invitation. It was a summons. I showed up on time. My brother was already there. So was Mom. They exchanged a look. A coordinated look. I sat down. My stomach twisted. Mom folded her hands on the table. We've made a decision about the house. We, not you. Not even asking. We. My brother leaned forward. Elbows on the table. That same smirk from when we were kids. It's time to be realistic, he said. You don't even live there. I need the equity. Mom agrees. I opened my mouth to speak. Mom cut me off. Your brother is going through a hard time. This house is too big for one person anyway. A hard time. I was about to find out just how hard. Mom started talking, fast, rehearsed. You don't have any real ties to that house. You rent an apartment. Your brother has a family to think about. He didn't have a family. He had debts. But I didn't know that yet. Your father, Mom said, and her voice got soft, manipulative, would have wanted you to help your brother. That stung. My brother reached into a folder. He slid a paper across the table. A quitclaim deed. Blank. My name printed at the bottom. Just sign, he said. Make this easy. I stared at the paper, at the line where my signature was supposed to go. For a second, I thought about it. Just signing. Just making them stop looking at me like that. Like I was the problem. Like I was being selfish for keeping what Dad gave me. My hands shook. I felt 12 again, small, invisible. I've already talked to a realtor, my brother added. We could close in 30 days. 30 days. He was selling a house he didn't own, and he thought I'd just let him. I looked up. My voice came out quieter than I wanted. You can't sell what you don't own. He smiled. Yet, I didn't sign. My brother's face changed. The smile dropped. You're really going to do this? He said. Be spiteful? Mom's voice was ice. I never thought you'd be so selfish. I pulled out my phone. My hands were steadier now. I opened a folder. Tax documents. All saved. All labeled. Before I sign anything, I said, let me ask you both a question. They stared. When's the last time either of you paid a dime for that house? Silence. I turned my phone toward them. Scrolled slowly. Property tax receipts. Year after year. All in my name. All paid in full. 6 years, I said. I've been paying for that house for 6 years. My brother's jaw tightened. That doesn't mean... It means I've kept that house standing while you forgot it existed. I swiped through the records. Payment confirmations. Bank statements. Over $48,000. Mom's face went hard. You're being difficult. Difficult. Not righteous. Not honest. Difficult. I put my phone down. I'm being clear. This is my house. I stood up. Grabbed my purse. I'm not signing. I had more proof. So much more, but I wanted to see how far they'd go. They went far. The next morning, my brother called. No pleasantries. You're stealing from this family. Stealing. The house Dad left me. We can contest the will, he said. Dad wasn't thinking clearly at the end. You know that. My heart pounded. Could they actually do that? Mom started her campaign. She called my aunt, my uncle, cousins I hadn't spoken to in years. She spun a story. I was greedy, cold, abandoning my brother in his time of need. My phone buzzed. A group text from my aunt. Heard you're refusing to help your brother. Really? I didn't reply. Then my brother posted on Facebook, vague, pointed. Family isn't what it used to be. Some people forget where they came from. The comments piled up. People I grew up with. People who didn't know the whole story. So sad. Praying for you. My reputation was crumbling in real time. Mom left me a voicemail. I never thought you'd turn your back on your own brother. After everything I did for you. Everything she did. Like ignoring me for 18 years. I sat in my apartment, alone, watching my phone light up with judgments from people who had no idea. I gave them 48 hours. If they wanted war, I'd bring documents. I called the estate attorney, the one who handled Dad's will. He remembered me. I need to know, I said. Can they contest it? He was quiet for a moment. Then he laughed, soft, professional. No. He invited me to his office, pulled the file. Your father had a full cognitive evaluation 1 month before signing the will. Perfect score. He slid a document across the desk. Medical letterhead. 2 doctors' signatures. There's more, he said. He opened another folder. A legal notice. Withdrawal of challenge. Dated 2 years ago. My brother's name. His lawyer's signature. I stared. He already tried. I whispered. The attorney nodded. He withdrew the moment we provided the medical affidavits. He knew he couldn't win. My brother had lied. To Mom, to the whole family. He'd already lost this fight once. And now he was pretending it never happened. I need certified copies of everything, I said. The attorney smiled. I thought you might. He handed me a file. Tabbed, organized, notarized, the will, the cognitive evaluation, the withdrawal notice. Everything I needed. I walked out of that office with proof in my hands. He'd lied to Mom, lied to the family, and I had every receipt. I needed to understand why. Why now? Why the pressure? Why the lies? So I did what accountants do. I pulled records. Bankruptcy filings are public. You just have to know where to look. I found his. Chapter 7. Filed 4 months ago. I read every page. 3 investors. 2 credit cards. 1 ex-business partner. Total liabilities $340,000. His startup had crashed. Hard. Creditors were circling. He didn't need a home. He needed a cash out. I pulled up Zillow. The house was worth $580,000. The math was obvious. Sell the house. Pay off the debts. Pocket the rest. Move on. And I was the only thing standing in his way. Mom's motive was older, deeper. She couldn't accept that Dad had chosen me, the disappointing daughter, over her golden son. It wasn't about the house. It was about control. I sat back, closed my laptop. Now I knew exactly what to do. I didn't want revenge. I didn't want to humiliate them. I just wanted them to stop. And I had everything I needed to make that happen. I didn't want a courtroom. I didn't want a years-long legal war. I wanted one clean moment. One undeniable truth. I sent a text. To both of them. Let's settle this. Sunday, 2 p.m. at the house. My brother replied in seconds. Fine, bring the quitclaim. He thought he'd won. I called the estate attorney. Asked if he'd come as a witness. He agreed. I spent Saturday putting together a folder. The deed on top, original, embossed, underneath, the will. The tax receipts. The cognitive evaluation. The withdrawal notice. The bankruptcy filing. Every piece of evidence. Organized, tabbed, printed. A timeline on a single sheet of paper. Saturday night, I walked through the house alone. I touched the doorframe Dad rebuilt. Ran my hand along the kitchen counter he'd refinished. I stood in the living room where he taught me to read a level. This house wasn't just property. It was love. Measured in hours. In patience. In belief that I mattered. I wasn't giving it up. I locked the door. Drove home. Slept better than I had in weeks. Sunday came. I was ready. I got there first. Unlocked the door. Set up at the dining room table. The attorney arrived 5 minutes later. Briefcase, calm face. We waited. My brother's car pulled up. He wasn't alone. He brought a realtor. To a house he didn't own. They walked in like they owned the place. The realtor was already taking notes. My brother grinned. Good. Let's get this signed so we can get the listing up by Monday. I didn't stand. No one signing anything. Mom came in behind them. She looked at the attorney. Her face tightened. What is this? This, I said, is the truth. I placed the deed on the table. Slid it to the center. This is the original deed. Recorded 6 years ago. My name. My brother barely glanced at it. We know Dad left it to you, but let me finish. I put down the will. Certified copy. Seal intact. Dad's will. He was evaluated by 2 doctors 1 month before signing. Fully competent. Perfect cognitive score. Mom opened her mouth. I kept going. I fanned out the tax receipts. 6 years of payments, $48,000. I've paid every cent to keep this house standing. My brother's face started to drain. I slid the bankruptcy filing across the table. You owe $340,000. You don't want a home. You want my equity. He didn't move. I placed the final document in front of Mom. And this. Your son's legal challenge, filed 2 years ago. Withdrawn the moment the attorney showed him Dad's medical records. The realtor stood. Awkward. Uncomfortable. I'll, wait outside. The door clicked shut. Mom stared at the paper. At my brother. You told me she stole it. He said nothing. The attorney spoke, calm, clear. The property is legally and entirely hers. Any further harassment can be addressed with a restraining order. I looked at my brother. Then at my mom. I'm keeping the house. You need to leave. My brother stood. Shoved his chair back. He walked out without a word. Mom lingered. Just for a second. Then she followed him. The door closed. I exhaled. It was over. 2 months later, I checked my brother's social media one last time. His condo was listed. Short sale. He'd moved to Arizona. No forwarding number. No goodbye. Mom unfriended me on Facebook. I sent her one message. I'm willing to talk. If you ever want to hear my side. I love Dad too. Red receipt. Blue checkmark, no reply. I didn't send another. I hired movers. Left my apartment. Moved into 428 Maple, the house Dad built. The house he wanted me to have. My first project was his workshop in the garage. I bought new tools. Hung his old pegboard exactly where it used to be. Started building furniture on weekends. Small tables, shelves, a bench for the porch. It felt like being 12 again, in the best way. I also started something new, a small side practice, estate planning consults for families in conflict. $75 an hour. Sliding scale. My first client was a woman whose siblings wanted her to disclaim a trust. I knew that playbook now. I helped her keep what was hers. One evening, I framed a photo. Me, 14 years old, Dad's arm around my shoulders. The porch behind us. I hung it in the living room, right where Mom used to keep my brother's trophies. Here's what I learned. Your inheritance isn't just money. It isn't just property. It's the love someone spent years building for you. You don't owe it to people who only showed up when there was something to take. Boundaries aren't cruelty. Distance isn't revenge. Sometimes peace costs you a relationship. And that's okay. I keep the deed in a fireproof safe now. I'll never need to pull it out of my purse again. But I'm glad I did. One more thing. This story is a fictionalized dramatization. It's not legal or financial advice. Always consult professionals for your specific situation. Now it's your turn. Would you have brought the receipts? Or would you have tried to keep the peace? Drop your answer in the comments. And if you believe boundaries are love, hit subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.